Tell me if this sounds familiar to you. You want to do something different with your life. You notice the way things are and you're just not satisfied. There's something that's either missing or there's something that's just, you know what it is, Tig? What is it? You've been doing what you see other people do. You've been following along. You've been reading the books. You've been doing the exercises, doing the principles, doing the stuff that is all around you, following along with what your friends are doing, and noticing that they don't seem to be very satisfied either, but they're just going along, following the herd. Maybe you've gotten to a place where the herd just isn't interesting anymore, and you're like, what else is there? Well, come on, my friend. If this sounds like you, I've got something really special I want to share with you that you can listen to and read and experience for yourself a deep inner curiosity that can lead to massive transformation. If you're on board with that, come on, my friend, let's dig into the soil of this together. Welcome back to my channel. My name is D. Grant Smith. I am the growth farmer for personal development through the lens of spirituality and storytelling. And essentially what that means is I help you farm the garden within your mind and your heart to live the life of your dreams. And that begins with learning what it means to really love ourselves, which is why I've got something I'm really excited to share with you today. Actually, a couple of things I'm really excited to share with you today. When I started this video, I asked if this situation sounds like you, because it sounded like me and it had been me for a long time. And it wasn't until I opened up the doors to something that we did when we were kids, but not so much as adults, that things really started to take on a whole new realm of possibilities. And that is curiosity. Now, I've spent a long time doing a lot of things the same way. I'm kind of an old-fashioned dude, so it kind of flows in that sort of vein. But when we notice that we're doing things that other people are doing because they're doing it, and a lot of us have been taught and trained and conditioned and educated and all these different things of doing what other people do because they're successful. And so if I want to be successful, I have to do things their way. I have to go down their path. I have to follow the herd. But we know that the straight and the narrow often is a very different path than what everybody else is doing. And so maybe you have followed along with what your culture or society or circles of social interactions and what those people are doing. But maybe you've also noticed that while things seem to be doing pretty good, their dreams and their desires and their happiness doesn't seem to be something that they are walking in on a regular basis. And maybe you've asked yourself, is there a different way? Is there something different than what I see in front of me? Is there something better? Is there something bigger? Man, I've asked myself that question a lot. And one day I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and she told me something that really started to stir this idea in my head. And I sat with it one day at a coffee shop, and I just started thinking about it for a little bit. And then it became something that turned into an exploration. And I want to share that with you. So it's a story that I wrote called "We Don't Know What We Don't Know." And that's a very popular phrase that we can hear and go, yeah, we don't know what we don't know. When we start discovering new things about ourselves or new things about God, we don't know what we don't know. But where do these discoveries actually take place? They take place within us. When we allow ourselves to expand our perspective and the lens that we're seeing things through, which is why here on this channel, every day when I'm making videos, I'm presenting something to you through the lens of spirituality and storytelling that is all a part of the personal growth and personal development process. Now, what I want to share with you now is that story, one of them, the story that I wrote when I was sitting in that coffee shop contemplating and thinking more seriously about this one phrase that a friend of mine said. Now, if I told you the phrase, it would give away the entire premise of the story, something that you actually discover when you get towards the end of it. And the story that I'm going to share with you is something that I want to give you totally for free. Now, a lot of times with the whole, hey, get my free stuff sort of thing, it's a way to get onto an email list. And I'm not trying to get your email address so that I can bombard you with a whole bunch of sales stuff. That really bothers the crap out of me. That's something else I've seen other people do, and it just doesn't feel good to me. I do send emails to people, and when I send emails out, usually about once a week, they're full of encouragement and empowerment and inspiration, because it is my intention and my desire for you to feel empowered and feel encouraged and be inspired to maybe try something a little different, a little new, and if anything, to love and embrace yourself more. But the story that I'm going to share with you, I'm going to show exactly how to get it. Let me share my screen real fast. So when you go to growthfarming.com, this is what you see. And I've got some videos on here that give you a little bit of an overview about what this whole platform is about. But you go up here to free resources and scroll all the way to the bottom. There's a bunch of awesome stuff in here, and all this stuff is absolutely free. That course will change your life because it gives you a basis and a starting point for how to have a really healthy self-love practice. You learn about what grace, commitment and faithfulness, patience and kindness actually are when it comes to really learning to love yourself. We're used to giving other people these things, but we often don't know how to give it to ourselves. So this is a full-blown $250 course that I made totally free because I really want to help other people have resources that I didn't have when I was learning how to love myself. And so that's why I provided it for you. But here's what it is that I want to share. We don't know what we don't know. And in this story, there's a character named Peter who has spent his entire life following along the herd, following along his friends and his family, doing what everyone else has been doing, the same old thing over and over and over again. But one day he has this experience where he looks up and he sees the sun, and he sees what looks like something fly into the sun, but then it comes out the other side. And it totally blows his mind because he's like, I thought the sun was the source for all of life, essentially God. How can something come into God and then keep going on its way? And if it's possible for whatever this thing is to do that, maybe it's possible for me too. And so he decides to do something completely different that's technically against the rules. He breaks away from the crowd and away from his group, and he goes in search of trying to reach the sun, trying to reach God so he can know all things. But he's not able to get there. And instead he decides, okay, I'll come back and do this again later. Well, at night as he's laying to sleep, he looks up and he sees the moon and thinks, okay, well, maybe I couldn't get to the sun, but maybe I can get to the moon. If I touch the moon, then I can know the truth about all things. And so he goes towards the moon. And instead of getting to the moon, he discovers that the world that he knows is something completely different than what he thought it was. And he meets this wonderful creature named Maggie, who enlightens him on who he actually is, the world that he lives, and the whole other worlds that exist around him that he has no idea about. And what leads him to this place is simply a matter of curiosity. But from this, and from this realization that there's so much that he has no idea about, he doesn't know what he doesn't know, it leads to a completely new perspective and a new way of looking at himself, at his life, and about the way that he lives. And it's my hope and my intention that after you read this story, you will feel that way about yourself. You will open up yourself to the world of possibilities all around you that you hadn't considered before, because you don't know what you don't know. So this is my gift to you. Everything here is my gift to you. And I ask you only to partake in it, receive it. And also, it would be something very special to me if after you read this story, or read anything that I have here that's available in the free resources section, that you come and let me know what your experience is like. As you know, my biggest passion is relationships. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I provide these videos here on YouTube. That's why I share with you what it is that I share with you. My desire, my intention is to bless you and to encourage you and to inspire you. Yes, but it's also my intention to engage with you and have conversation and connect and go through this growing process together. And really, that's what I've got the entire growth farming platform for. So spend some time here, grab the free resources, enjoy them, experience them, and also come check out all the other resources and great things that I have for you here at Growth Farming. Now, hopefully, this video for you today has given you a new perspective. And also, hopefully, it's intrigued you enough to go check out the free resources that I have for you to provide insights and inspiration and education and spark a little curiosity in you. And I hope you're game for it. And I look forward to seeing you inside my community and having more conversations with you. If you don't mind, drop down into the comments below and tell me that you're on board. And also give this video a thumbs up, share it with somebody to encourage, inspire, and provide a little bit of a curious spark for them as well. I appreciate you being here. I love you. I believe in you. I look forward to connecting with you soon. See you then.